I went online and I was looking at videos, what is the role of a pastor? And I came across a video of a very well-known, very prominent conservative pastor, and here was his logic. He said, and he used the exact same scripture that I did, John 21. He said, a pastor's job is to shepherd the flock. I agree. And then he went from there and he said, shepherd the flock means lead them. Lead them means preach the word. Well, you can't preach the word unless you study the scriptures diligently and have sound doctrine. And by the end of the video, he said, that means that pastors should be theologians. So we take this beautiful metaphor that has all of this meaning inside of it. There's a whole world. It took Peter his whole life to understand what it meant to shepherd God's flock. And we turned it into, well, you're a theologian who preaches sermons on Sunday. Really? Wait, and so all of the fathering, all of the being example, all of the bringing people into maturity, you're saying that the sermon is going to do that just by itself as if by magic? And we know that sermons go to the left side of the brain, not the right side of the brain. The left side of the brain is where belief and problem solving and verbal processing goes. But the right side of the brain is where behavior and relationships go. And so we've aimed for one half of the brain, and we've said, if we preach enough good sermons, we're going to see people's lives transformed and then come into maturity. Meanwhile, the right side of the brain, where all of the maturity actually happens, is completely untouched. That's the problem with saying that a shepherd or a pastor is a preacher of sermons. It means that not only do you only get half of the picture, you get the wrong half of the picture. You're going to put all of your emphasis and all of your time and effort on making better and better sermons that don't actually change people's lives. When Peter said, be an example to the flock, and as they model their behavior after you, that's what lodges on the right side of the brain. That's what helps people grow into becoming more Christ-like. So pastors, here's what I want you to remember, is that you are not mainly a preacher. You are not a CEO, which is kind of a big thing in pastorates right now in the Western church. And you're not even a theologian, although, of course, we would prefer good theology to bad theology. At heart, what you are called to be by Jesus Christ is a shepherd. And it's going to take you your entire life to find out what that means. But it looks a lot more like being a parent than it does being a theologian, a CEO, or a good public speaker. And that's a lot more fulfilling.